Okay, this is my new book. It's called Prevent and Reverse Kidney Disease by me, Pete Rogers. The reason I wrote this book, the picture on the cover, by the way, is Niagara Falls, the painting by Frederick Edwin Church. The idea of getting the kidneys going to try to save their kidneys. And basically, the idea of a nutritional treatment for kidney disease, that was known back in the 1940s. Walter Kempner was the master of it, the genius of it. He was also trained as a nephrologist as well as an internal medicine doctor. And there was no dialysis back in those days. Dialysis didn't become widely available until about 1972 or so after Medicare approved to pay for it. So most of these patients, there wasn't going to be dialysis. They're either going to save their kidney with nutrition or they're going to die. So anyways, we'll go into that. The other thing is, when I start the book, I always try to do something that I think is interesting or fun. So I want to get right to the point, right on the inside cover page. As soon as I'm done with, saying the name and the title and stuff, I will then put comments from viewers or something else. And I thought it was funny. I first got the idea from Monty Python of putting funny comments in the credits for the thing. The other thing, too, was, long ago I looked at the landscape of medical publishing. And I published several different books, a bunch of them with publishing companies. But I don't like publishing with a company because it takes typically over a year to make the book. And they impose all these restrictions on you. So anyways, when I self-publish, I can do it very quickly, but I really have no way to market the book. And also, I've looked at the whole medical game, non-conventional medicine, and conventional too. I'm always the outsider because, I'm half Puerto Rican. Most people in America kind of hate Puerto Ricans. I'm half Irish. People say they like the Irish, but they hate them. And everybody's like, oh, no, I like Irish. Well, then why do you let them be genocided? They're being genocided, they're being killed, they're being massacred, they're being murdered, and no one's coming to save them. And even RFK is not helping them, okay? So that's just a fact. They're considered like the low-life scum of Europe. It's just a fact, okay? They've been slaves of the British for 1,000 years. So basically, I come from weak ethnic groups. So there's nobody in my ethnic group that's going to help me, all right? Then, even though I'm a so-called minority being a Puerto Rican, people say they like minorities. That's all bullshit. What they mean is they're going to be nice to some affirmative action mediocrity. They don't like geniuses like me, okay? They don't like somebody from minority coming in being smarter than them, more qualified than them, more energetic than them. They don't. I have extensive experience in medicine, okay? And so anyways, what I'm trying to say is I realize that despite all these things being against me, in a way, paradoxically, they also help me because I'm not indebted to any sponsors. I'm free to tell the truth. And because I know I will never, ever be accepted by conventional medicine, I'm free to joke around. I can tell the truth. So here's my comments from a nephrologist. Why should I give a shit about preventing kidney failure? If I teach the patient how to prevent kidney failure, then I don't make any money. My job is to write orders for the dialysis machine. We don't even know what a healthy diet is. We don't get training in that. And that's the truth. Most patients, they never see a person who knows nutrition before they're on dialysis. So they're basically screwed. And why would anybody want to help them protect their kidneys? The sooner you get them on dialysis, the faster you can make real money off of them. But the faster they die. About 50% of them are dead within 5 years. So it's a disaster. Okay? All right. And then the next comment here is, and I have fun with this because, the typical book, they're going to get a bunch of BS promotional testimonials saying, oh, how great the book is. And whereas what I'm doing here is I'm just having fun with it, okay? So I know none of this is going to make any difference in the book sales. Dr. Rogers is an arrogant a-hole. He says that internal medicine doctors are a joke. Just because we never cure obesity, hypertension, diabetes, autoimmune disease, or chronic kidney disease, and lots of us are fat and sick with these diseases, that does not mean we are incompetent. Those are all the main diseases they treat, and I think that's rather funny, because they are grossly incompetent. Okay, the next one. Dr. Rogers is a patriarchal misogynist. He made a fart joke about his wife, so I got him banned from teaching at the university. He also has the nerve to say that gender-affirming surgery of grade school students is castration. Of course, this has nothing to do with the fact that my field poisons children and adults with drugs that cause brain damage. Yeah, the doctor got pissed off at me, so got me forbidden from speaking at the universities because I made a fart joke in my book. Okay, it's ridiculous. That's how it is. No one cares about patients. Patients are a bunch of poor people. No one cares about poor people. Look what's happening all over Europe, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, okay? That's because they don't care about those people. All right, okay. Then a comment by a psychologist. So what if a psychologist doesn't know the difference between a man and a woman? That doesn't mean we can't give relationship advice. We've got psychology board certifications and proper pronouns to prove our qualifications. All these Johnny-come-lately self-educated internet dating coaches and nutrition experts are a bunch of COCK suckers. So anyways, just had a little fun with that. This is all on the prelim pages of the book. And then I've got the famous drawing about the pit of doom. All the typical chumps are sitting there in the pit of doom saying, save me, help me. And the doctor throws a rope safety line over it, and it's got drug 1, drug 2, drug 3, drug 4. And it's a very thin fiber rope. It typically breaks pretty quickly. And then the one patient says, screw that, I'm not waiting around for some pill that doesn't work anyways. I'm going to learn to help myself. And then all the stuff that we know that helps these patients improve. If they dramatically reduce their protein intake, eat a plant-based diet to increase the alkalinity, you take the acidity management job off the kidney, you decrease the amount of nitrogen it has to clear, they can potentially do a lot better. You might not save them from eventually ending up in dialysis, but you can greatly prolong it. You got a good chance to do that. Okay? You can control yourself. You can't control the effect of your pills. So anyways, that's it before the table of contents. In the near upcoming future, we'll start going through the chapters in this book. Hope you found that interesting.